This video is being recorded as a head-to-head comparison between Super FX and SEGA Virtua processors. Here we see Stunt Race FX first. As you can see, it is running in an inset window. And while it does seem to be more featureful, including some texture mapping, albeit very limited, and palette cycling, it does seem to be very limited in how many polygons it can push out and at what resolution. However, if we switch over to Virtua Racing, the only game to use the SEGA Virtua processor for in-cartridge acceleration, you can see that it is a larger screen, although it's not at the fullest native resolution. Rather, it is the resolution the Genesis ran at for playing Master System games. However, it is pumping out a metric buttload more polygons. All of those individual lines on the road are separate polygons. And then the large amount of scenery surrounding. However, this does come with some drawbacks. There's no texture mapping, and there's limited colors. However, it can do dithering, and the game does use a lot of that. This port was done extremely well given the very limited hardware. And don't mind the dark image, I'm just trying to offset the brightness of the screen. It was coming in swamped. I tried turning it down, it didn't really do anything. But there's an absolutely massive amount of polygons coming through, considering the hardware running on a Sega Genesis. And you compare that to Stunt Race FX, while it does maybe have transparency? Question mark? No, I don't think so. It still heavily relies on sprites inside the game field, as the eyes and tires are still sprites. Much like on Test Drive Off-Road. Although I guess that can't be totally comparable since that's a PlayStation 1 game. Which is actually a remake of a Super Nintendo game. It's weird. But you can see that everything is much more sparse on the Super FX. And probably runs at a lower frame rate as well. When 100%ing this game last year, I did notice a lot of chugging, which is really unfortunate because a racing game really needs a smooth frame rate, especially one that doesn't dip down into the teens when it's normally at like 20 or so. But the VSP is pushed to its limit constantly, and I assume if there was a lot less polygons on screen, it would be even faster. The output of this is very impressive considering that it is just an additional processor inside the cartridge on a Sega Genesis.